So, with that missing word, let's start our lecture today. So that in the next 2 hours thereafter, you can be able to achieve a lot and add value to our day. So, our topic of today we center on three important topics, which is going to be product life cycle, benchmarking, value chain analysis, and this small caption, gap analysis. Okay, that makes it four topics. But we have to know the meaning of gap analysis. So in case we are asked or we come across that in the course of our lecture, so that word will not look strange to us. It's a thing that we know, but we don't know that they call it that name, gap analysis. So that's the reason why in academics we have so many things that we learn by days. Learning is continuous. Okay, to start with, we are starting with product life cycle. I'm 100% sure you can see the slide now.
Yes, sir, we can see.
Okay. Bless you. So the product life cycle model, more or less the opposite of that beautiful topic that we treated upper week, Greener's growth model. The Greener's growth model discussed comprehensively on the sequential stages that corporate organization pass through once a company has been registered. It's become an artificial being and separate from that of the owners. So the Greener's growth model informs us, if I can refresh your memory, that we have 5 stages of organizational life. The phase one, two, three, four, five. So that's the phase of creativity, phase of direction, delegation, phase of coordination and collaboration. Series of crises that the company manage in transition from one stage to another. So opposite is product life cycle, because this one talks about product and not organization. So the whole idea about this product life cycle is that we are expected to read in depth to understand that all products that we are seeing or we are buying in the market, the one we are using at home, that are durable product and whatever, they have the time at which they are born, they have the time at which they grow, and they have the period through which they die. So that born means a product is new manufactured. They grow in the market, and so far the customers are patronizing, and we are achieving remarkable sales, return on investment, profits. The brand is growing. We said the product is growing in the market. So why the product died, it's not a natural death that we have to dig the soil and the ground and put the product. No, the death of a product is marked by total decline in sales and returns on the product. When the product become totally less competitive and it's not bringing any sales or return as expected, so we say the product died. So, and I can say that we should limit ourselves to 4 stages under product life cycle. But normally we have 5 stages. So, and I've tried to look at the trend of that all this while, each time product life cycle comes out, uh, they take to their promise. There is also only 4 stages that is being tested. So after we discuss about the 4, we look at the diagram. For that diagram, you must master it. They will not require you to draw, but it is essential that you know that you have to draw. It's a must for you to draw, for you not to lose the mark. So what are the observation of people about the product life cycle, particularly the model diagram, the criticism? We look at that, the significance of this product life cycle, and some cost that companies spend in managing the product so that it will not reach the decline stage. So that's what we are doing on the product life cycle. So after that, we look at benchmarking, value chain analysis, VCA. Okay, to start with, product life cycle. As you can see here that the product life cycle is defined as the logical stages that products, particularly new products, pass through in its lifespan. One, it is newly manufactured and introduced into the competitive market. So with that short definition, The definition made us to understand that the product life cycle refers to the sequential stages. I call it a logical stages here because one stage leads to another. So the sequential or logical stages that new product pass through in the competitive market. The moment is produced and officially launched and commercialized into the market. So that product has been born. And the essence of introducing the product is for us to create awareness and appeal to the customers, the distributors, the accredited agents, the dealers to buy these products. Because without the customers, there is nothing to sell. Without the customers' patronage, there is no way this product will grow, and the company will not achieve their financial and non-financial objective of producing the product. So a product life begins with its initial development and ends at the time that is eventually withdrawn from the market. So product life begins from that introduction stage. After we have done conceptualization, we have actually produced a tangible product that we can see. So the more the product is generating returns, customers are buying, that product can continue to be in existence for over 50, 100 years and more than. You can see the likes of First Bank, you can see Guinness, see the time that product has been in existence. And up to now, the product has stayed competitive. So product can be in saturation stage for a longer period of time. So we can proceed that a life cycle is said to go through several stages. I mean, the life cycle of a product is not just one stage, no, several stages. And I told you that we are required to limit ourselves to just 4 stages. So that means the several stages of the product life cycle can be classified into 4 main types. The product life cycle can be classified into 4 main types. We have one, introduction stage. That is the first stage of the product life cycle. Two, growth stage. Three, maturity stage. Four, decline stage. So these are the 4 stages that new product pass through in the market. So the success of this product in the market now depends on the ability of the company to nurture the product with required strategies. The success of this product depends on the ability of the company to be dynamic, because we need dynamic competitive now. Dynamic competitive to environmental challenges, to competitors' action and reactions, dynamism to changes in the consumer's buying pattern. So once you can be able to do this, then the product can live long and we can achieve our intended goals and objectives on the product. So to start with, the introduction stage. So the introduction stage is the first stage at which the product is born and newly introduced into the market. That means it is the stage at which the product is newly produced, newly manufactured, and launched into the market. So at this introduction stage, what are the distinctive characteristics or the attributes of what happened anytime we introduce a new product into the competitive market? So among those things that we are going to see at the introduction stage is this. One, product and brand awareness are low. Yes, the awareness about the product, the awareness about the brand, the awareness about the company that produced the product. Some customers are not they don't know about the sources or the source where this product is coming from. The brand is entirely new. In fact, to some customers or consumers, it might take them the next 1 year, some the next 2 years before they come across the product. Some that are aware might be through referral, maybe exposure to advertisement or online marketing or what have you. So at the introduction stage, there is always low awareness about the product and brand and the company that produced the product. Even there will be low awareness about the product price, product attribute, product benefit, product usage. So this low product brand awareness result to what? Low sales and profitability. Because it's just few that make trial purchase, that are aware about the existence of that new product, that we buy. So companies experience low sales and profitability anytime they introduce a new product. So at that time, they try to break even, not to sustain losses, because automatically they have preempt their minds that they cannot make robust profit at the introduction stage, except in some few cases that we have some products like that that will become a strategic asset for the company. We launch it and people just start buying. The awareness is high. So at introduction stage, please note, products and brand awareness are low, and this one will lead to low sales and profitability. Another thing we are going to experience, particularly when it is a consumable product, is that existing distributors are always reluctant to sell the product due to its newness. I've justified that. The reason why some of these wholesalers, retailers, and the rest are accredited agents are reluctant to stock and sell the product is because the product is still at the infancy. The brand has not become an established brand or household name brand, and they want to limit their risks and financial commitment on a brand that is unknown. So, what again happened in the introduction stage? Firms incur investment costs, startup costs, and running costs are very high. Yes, a lot of expenditure will be spent on research, innovation, production of the product, the packaging, launching of the product, aggressive promotion to create awareness, and many more. Recruitment of sales representative, depending on the nature of the product. So we have so many costs that the company spend at the introduction stage. So we can say that the product is not yet profitable at this stage. So what are the strategies that the company can do to enhance product awareness, brand awareness, increase sales, increase profitability, and achieve quick return on investment? So among the strategies are these. One, aggressive promotion. If the company has the financial strength, it is advised that the company use all available promotional tools, all available without any limit. But in a case where the company is financially handicapped or they have spent more on producing this product and launching, they can do a selection of some promotional strategies that can give the product mass awareness and foster increase in sales, like event sponsorship, celebrity endorsement, digital marketing, so advertisement. So aggressive promotion is needed at this stage, and there is need for consistency in product quality. You and I know that customers normally have what we call brand skepticism when it comes to a new product. Knowing fully that some companies, by the time they are launching a new product, the quality is always high. Once the product gain ground, the brand is known, sales start increasing, so they reduce the quality of the product. So we have to erase this impression by ensuring consistency in our product quality. And above all, we must sell at penetration price. The only condition that can make us to sell a product at introduction stage at higher price, scheme price, is when that product is a capital intensive product, durable product, luxury product, or probably intangible product. So we advise that we should ensure that we use penetration price to sell our product at the introduction stage. And that penetration price means selling at affordable price. You can use the word affordable price, moderate price, reasonable price. So once you can be able to do this, then the sale of the product can peak. So growth stage. The growth stage is the second stage of the product life cycle. Second stage of product life cycle. So at this stage, our total sales demand in the market grow at a faster rate. That means at the growth stage, after we have done aggressive promotion, consistency in product quality, maintain our affordable pricing, look for more customers. So this one transform into increase in sales, because the aggressive promotion now will now help at the growth stage, in that the promotion will create more products and brand awareness, brand recognition. So a lot of customers will be tempted to make a initial trial purchase. So at growth stage, it is the stage that the total sales demand in the market grow at a faster rate due to increasing brand awareness and aggressive promotion. So we did not crime anything. I've simplified everything. So this growth stage, what happened again? New entrants are attracted into the market. The new entrants are potential competitors. So they are attracted into the market. What attracted them? They are attracted into the market by the prospect of high sales and profits. So that means the growth stage is the stage at which new competitors enter the market to introduce similar, slightly differentiated or non-differentiated products that perform the same functions or offer the same benefit, and they are used in the same way like our own products. So what attracted the new entrant, new competitors? What attracted them is the success of our products, our sales and profit returns. So this one encourage them that, okay, if we produce our own product too and launch it, so far this product survive, our own product can survive too. So at the growth stage, competitors begin to enter the market. So what are the marketing strategies that we can use at this stage? Some of the marketing strategy applicable at this stage is continuous promotion. Please, we must not stop promotion for any reason. Continuous promotion. We should maintain consistency in product quality and service delivery. And we have to maintain current selling price. We maintain status quo in price. The reason why I say we should maintain status quo in price is that attempt to change the product price, it can backfire. When you change the product price, it will backfire. Why? Because a lot of potential customers that are newly informed or get information about the product, those people that use WOM, word of mouth marketing communication for us through referral, they've already informed the customers about the product price and the rest. So when we now change the price suddenly, it will make us to lose all those potential customers. So at the growth stage, we maintain status quo in price, current selling price, in order for us not to lose prospective new customers that are coming. And at the same time, we can use combination strategy. The combination strategy, we call it push and pull strategy. Push and pull strategy. A push strategy is a promotional strategy that is directed to appeal to dealers, agents, wholesalers, retailers, order getters, and many more, for them to be able to stock and help us to sell this product, because they have full material knowledge about the market structure, where the customers is. Even some, they are not ready to sell. We are even begging them to take a sample, one or two, that they can create a shelf life, put it in their shelf, because we know the rate at which customers are coming to that market. It might be supermarket, it might be anywhere, so that we can have that brand awareness there. So push strategy is a strategy, promotional strategy directed towards the middlemen, marketing intermediaries, to assist in selling the product, create awareness for the product. While the push strategy, PULL, is a strategy that is directed towards the customers and the consumers to appeal to them to buy our products. Those that have been buying, we are appealing to them to give them the reassurance of hope. They are still buying the best product. They should increase their quantity that they are buying and assist in referral. So at maturity stage, the maturity stage that we all know is the third stage of the product life cycle, the third stage. So during the maturity phase, the total annual sales remain fairly stable. Yes, it is fairly stable because we now have many competitors in the market. Because before, our sales and profit is, in fact, is hyper, galloping, millions are just coming in. And not that we are not making more money at the maturity stage, but it's a little bit relatively stable because of the market is now full of competing products. And all these companies are introducing this product, they are coming up with their own strategies too. So at introduction stage, another thing that comes to mind now, which I don't think I put there, is that there is evidence of high brand switching. You can jot this down because I don't think I put it in the note. There is evidence of high brand switching. Customers are leaving a product that they are loyal to go and buy the newly introduced product. And some of these customers, by the time they make a trial purchase to buy a newly introduced product, we lost them to other competitors. They might not come back to us again. But that product might miss their expectation, maybe in terms of quality, availability, or price. And some might be induced through advertisements. So at the maturity phase too, prices and profits stabilize. So to some, or in some market or industry, the opportunity for more growth will no longer exist for some product in particular industry. But that product will still be bringing out stable sales and profitability because it's a product that has been known, because we already have some loyal customers. So, and because our product is relevant in the market. So, what most companies do at maturity stage is that more companies might seek to improve profit by differentiating their products. When you embark on product differentiation, product and market segmentation, this one can create something new to the customers. So as a result of that, then more customers will come again. So at this stage too, you mustn't relent that, okay, our product already is a known brand. No, there is need for us to do more strategies, make more uh, impressive and effective efforts to ensure that we maintain our relevance and competitive market position and our product did not reach the decline stage. We must not allow complacence here or any form of rigidity in our strategic marketing approach. All because there are many competitors in the market now with numerous products. And this will affect our sales and profitability. So what can we do? The marketing strategy that we can use at this stage are sales promotion. Sales promotion is fine. Event sponsorship, you can see that's the reason why a lot of companies are doing event sponsorship. Event sponsorship, powerful event sponsorship. I've seen many event sponsorship like that I say kudos to these companies. So celebratory endorsements, that some people scholar call it brand ambassadors. We can review our price now, since we are even contemplating to go on market segmentation and product segmentation. Different sizes come with different prices. And at the same time, another important thing is this: market development strategy. Develop more markets. Take the product to a market where it is unknown, where we have not been selling before. This one will increase our sales, give us the opportunity to win more customers, particularly new potential customers. Market expansion is very key at this stage. So having looked at that, we have the decline stage. The word decline, don't disturb yourself, means reduce, decrease, fall. That is the meaning of decline. So at the decline stage, we said eventually the total annual sales in the market will start to fall. That justify the word decline. There is a noticeable decrease, reduction, or fall in sales and profitability at the decline stage. And you can see, to justify that, we have, as sales fall, so too do profit. Both sales and profit fall at the decline stage. And what bring about this is because the demand of the customers about this product has reduced drastically. And at this stage, another thing that causes drop in sales and profit is because the market is oversaturated with competitors, and this weakens sales, product competition, and cause brand switching in the market. In saturated markets, we have many competitors that produce similar products. The products are used in the same way, they offer the same benefit to customers. And all these competitors are competing to sell their product to the same target customers. We have it in the food and beverages industry, we have it in the insurance industry, we have it in the banking industry. So at the decline stage, due to that saturated market, it will be difficult for you to win more customers. In fact, the cost of retaining existing customers too is high. So, and these are the things that affect our sales and profitability. So our old product might not appeal to customers again at this stage, and our product will now become weak in time of competition. So what are the strategic marketing approach that we can use? The strategic approach that we can use at this time is to reduce promotional cost. And the reason being that we are not selling more, our profit have reduced. So promotional expenses or promotional tools that we want to use will now reduce. Again, there should be reduction in the product price. A lot of companies have done that. Even 7-Up bottling company, at that time when 7-Up reached the decline stage due to competition actions and some other thing, they reduced the price. I can recall their bottle 7-Up, they sold it 50 naira at that time, in order to just maintain that the product still gain relevance in the market. They don't want to stop production of the product. So we can do product modification or remodification. That one will come in form of rebranding the product, relaunching the product, repackaging the product. We can improve the product quality, we launch it and inform the customers. Or we can export, that is distribute the product to less competitive market. Let's say for instance the product cannot compete in Lagos due to series of brands that we have. We can take the product to another state where the level of competition is not intense like in Lagos. We can embark on new product development, but the last option that the company can do is what we call divestment decision. Divestment decision means total withdrawal of the product in circulation. We stop further production of the product. But some companies, before they do that, they will have introduced a similar product that will complement the sales of the product that they want to withdraw, abandon from circulation. So below is a diagram of the product life cycle. Diagram of the product life cycle. So in your diagram, you can see the first column is introduction, growth, maturity, sales. We have the time at which the products live in the market, and we have a column for profit and sales. We have so many diagrams, we can use this. You can as well check for more simplified diagram that you like. And if you take to this, fine. So what are the criticism levels against product life cycle? criticisms level against product life cycle. One is that it is not all product that passes through the stages. There are some scholars that they are of the view like that. And truly, when you look at it uh, in the market, you discover that it is not all product that pass through the market, through the stages. Some product might be introduced today, they might fail to grow. Where is Assembran today? Where is Legend Stout? Many product like that. And the company try aggressive promotion, everything, but yet the product did not grow. So it is not all products. Some might be at the growth stage, they might decline back to introduction stage. And we have some. That's God we have it. We introduce the product, we launch it. The moment we launch the product like this, it just moves straight to growth stage. That was the opportunity that 18 Salat missed that time in the telecommunication industry. Because they launched their product. Not quite long that Fisa phone was launched and failed. 18 Salat from introduction stage, it moved straight to growth stage. But they mismanaged their sources. And that's the reason why they are acquired by another company. Their name is Nine Mobile. And you can see just yesterday, the company has been renamed from Nine Mobile to T2. Okay, another thing that we have as criticism is that the PSC diagram fails to indicate when one stake starts and ends, and when another stake starts and ends. So what this statement is saying is that in the PSC diagram, it will be difficult for you to ascertain that at which point there's introduction stake and ends. And this one that we say growth stake started, is it truly started at that place, or it's just an assumption? So this point number 2 is saying that in the diagram is subjective in nature, because we cannot say affirmatively the point at which one stake starts and ends and another one begins and ends. So thirdly, is they said not all products have a classical life cycle. Yes, fantastic. We have some product like that that they don't have a classical life cycle. Like for example now, in the insurance sector now, when we have life assurance policy, we might not have classical. In fact, it's not all companies that are doing it. A lot of companies, they don't have the capacity to do. That is why they go into alliance. And anytime there is crisis, that means they have to do combination strategy in indemnifying the customers that have been insured and suffer the losses. So another criticism is that the length of a product life cycle can be long or short. Yes, truly. And you can see the example that I put there. A broader type of product such as has a longer life cycle than particular type of products such as Volkswagen. So each product have a longer life cycle. But depending on the saturation of the market and innovation and technology, you now discover that some products, they are having a shorter life cycle. A good example is in the mobile telecommunication industry. All these mobile phones that we buy, they have a shorter life cycle, because by the time you buy this your own product, you are proud of the camera, proud of this. People are saying, this product is this and that. Within 2 months or 3 months, you can see the same company producing and launching a new product with higher fashion. So all these are criticisms are okay. So what are the things that we can learn from our discussion on product life cycle? We discover that at each phase of a product life cycle, what happened? One, selling price will be altered. Two, cost may differ. Three, the amount invested may vary. In the product life cycle too, spending on advertising and other marketing activities may change. At the same time, marketing strategies varies. Truly, you can see at the introduction stage, we introduce some marketing strategy. At growth stage, maturity stage, and decline stage, we have variations in the marketing strategy adopted because of the market situations and the product performance. So Also, the marketing environmental dynamism and threats changes. At times it might be positive, at times it might be negative. So we must have what we call swift and spontaneous reactions to marketing threats and opportunities that abound in the market. So company must be proactive. Without that environmental dynamism, then it will be difficult for us to nurture our products in the market. So what are the costs, implication of product life cycle? All these costs that we have mentioned in the course of our lectures. In the product life cycle, companies spend costs on research and developmental costs, training costs, acquisition of machinery, that is machinery costs, production costs, the cost of transforming our raw materials into finished goods, and all overhead expenses, operational costs, we call them production costs. So we have the distribution and selling costs. So the marketing costs, the working capital costs, retirement and disposal costs. That retirement does not mean that the product retire. We are giving is gratuity and pension benefit. Please, please note that retirement cost means the withdrawal cost, the investment cost, the cost of withdrawing the product in circulation and stopping total production. So, and we have the market development and strategy costs. So these are some of the costs that companies are expended, and all these costs, and I try to put it for a better understanding where some of these costs fall. Like for instance now, the product development stage, some of the costs are this, they are more than this. Research and development costs, capital expenditure decisions or costs. At the introduction, when we are introducing the product into the market, what are the likely costs associated with this? We have operating costs, market and advertising to raise product awareness. So at the same time, we have setup costs and expansion of distribution channel. Yes, because at the introduction stage, we must have distribution efficiency and networking. That is the only thing that can aid brand awareness and enhances. And all the distribution policy, intensive distribution policy, selective distribution policy, exclusive distribution policy, the combination of the three are very, very key, including digital distribution. So at the growth stage, some of the associated costs that we spend at the growth stage is the cost of increasing capacity, maybe the learning effect and economies of scale, growth stage, cost of product diversification, cost of market expansion, cost of customers retention and winning of new prospects, cost of promotion is there. So at maturity stage, then some likely cost is incur cost to maintain manufacturing capacity, particularly when God answer our prayer. Going to get to a stage that the demand of the customers might surpass what the company can supply. So we have to ensure that some of the profit that we are realizing, we are using it to improve our production efficiency, output level, so that the product that we are producing is sufficient to meet the teeming demand of the customers. So at the decline stage, we all know the clause at the decline stage. So the cost here is close attention to cost needed as withdrawal decision might be expensive. That is withdrawal cost, exit cost. So cost of products reduction. So all these things has been categorized for easy understanding. So that when I say the cost implication of product life cycle, it is known that from introduction stage up to decline stage, there are diversity in various costs that companies spend to ensure that their products generate increasing return, the product survive the threat in the competition, the product stabilize in the market and did not reach the decline stage. So what are the benefits of product life cycle? Benefits of product life cycle. The benefit of product life cycle is that it helps us to know and analyze the product's performance in terms of sales and profitability and competition. So the first one, the potential profitability of a product can be assessed before major development of the product is carried out and cost incurred. That means that even at the conception stage, conceptualization stage, the product life cycle gives us opportunity to do feasibility study on the profitability of this product. That's what we call the business analysis stage. We have to test all the 7 pieces of marketing mix. The profitability, is the product profitable? If it is not profitable, we can drop the idea and think of another product, or how we can go about it to ensure that the product is profitable. Because no investors want to invest on a product that is not profitable. So non profit making products can be abandoned at the early stage before costs are committed. So another thing that we can do is that strategy can be put in place. Technique can be used to reduce costs over the life of the product. So another thing that we learn in the product life cycle as a benefit is that the pricing strategy can be determined before the product enter the production. So this may lead to better control of marketing and distribution costs. But the major problem that we have here is that as at the time when you determine price prior to production, and you now produce, you launch the product at the introduction stage, there is tendency that the ruling market price might have changed. Look at what is happening in Nigeria now. So we are experiencing hyperinflation, increasing price of products, the purchasing power of the customers have dropped. So it is difficult to launch a new product now. It is difficult to preempt or assume that this will be the price at which the market will sell. And that's the reason why we have to do constant market analysis. So product life cycle help in monitoring the actual performance of products against plan. And that's what we call gap analysis. Another benefit of product life cycle is that it guides investment and divestment strategy. If the product is doing very well, we can continue to invest on it. We can produce another brands. We can do variety for all these variety seeking customers, product line extension. And if product is not doing very well and is bending towards bringing negative return, then the company can embark on divestment strategy to address the declining sales and profitability and loss in investment. We can do divestment strategy, stop further production of the products. So if that is understood, we quickly look at strategic capability. To just say students should know the meaning of strategic capability in the syllabus. So what do we call strategic capability? Strategic capability means the ability of an organization to perform and succeed by achieving their strategic objective. Also, it can also be described as the ability of an organization to use its capability, competency, and competency to create competitive advantage. So what we call strategic capability, the strategic capability means the intrinsic ability of a company to use their limited resources at their disposal, to use their competency, specializations, and capability to gain competitive edge over other companies. And our strategic capability, depending on the company competitive position, maybe we are in number 3 or number 2, market challengers or market followers position. Or we're even in the last stage. Number 4, market niche position. Okay, we pick from where we stop. We pick from where we stop. Hello, are you
Yes,
with
sir.
me?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, thank you, sir. So we said the strategic capability require ability of the company to use their limited resources. And by that limited resources, you should know that few among the resources of the company are the manpower, that is our strategic asset, our employees, we have methodology, machines, money, we have our time, information. These are part of the resources that we have. So nowadays we can add technological innovation as part of it. So ability to strategically utilize all these resources are at the disposal of the company, using their competency and capability to gain competitive advantage. That is what we call strategic capability. Hope that is understood. And you must know that it is not all companies that have core competency. In some industry, we have some companies that have core competency, where we have some that it's just mere the competency that they have and capability. Over time, they can now develop their own core competency. A good example now, when you look at the Nigerian TV stations, we discover that in terms of news broadcasting in our local context here in Nigeria, the one that have the core competence that others learn from is Channels TV. Globally, we discover that the likes of Al Jazeera, CNN, and what have you, they have core competency in terms of news broadcasting and global coverage. So, ability of a company to have sustainable growth, competitive advantage over others using their limited resources, competency is what we call strategic capability. So that means achieving strategic capability. How can we achieve it? I've emphasized and re-emphasized that when you look at the drawing that we have here, that for you to be able to achieve strategic capability, the company must have gain competitive advantage. You must be able to utilize your limited resources effectively. You must even be able to use what we call lean manufacturing. Some companies are capable, they have competency and what have you, but in the areas of waste management, they are not efficient in that. So your resources must be effectively minimized. So lean manufacturing is one of the strategic capability of an organization, and it will give you an opportunity to reduce your total operational costs. So having looked at the strategic capability, then we go to benchmarking. I've mentioned this that we are going to look at benchmarking. So what is benchmarking? Benchmarking is simply the process of comparing the company performance against the performance of the best competitors, either in the same industry or outside the industry. So meaning that what we call benchmarking, benchmarking means the comparison of the company performance with that of other competitors using some indicators. They can have some key performance indicator to measure that performance. So in benchmarking now, we have 7 Up bottling company comparing their own performance with their major competitors that we all know, which is a Coca-Cola bottling company. When Zenith Bank is comparing their performance with that of Access Bank, that is benchmarking. So what is the purpose of benchmarking? The purpose of benchmarking is to identify differences between your performance and that of the selected companies. We are doing a sort of a gap analysis for us to be able to know our gray areas, for us to be able to know our areas of relative strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So how come these companies have edge over us? How come in the competitive market position we are in number 3? What are the factors that are attributed to this? Those companies that are the market leader for decades, what are those things that they are doing? What is the secret? So in competitors analysis too, we can analyze their product performance, all their strategy that they are rolling out, we can analyze it. So this one will give us opportunity for us to be able to identify areas within the company that need improvements and investment, so that our own capability, competency, and core competency can improve too. So we can see here that benchmarking assists in gap analysis, that where these differences are significant, we identify significant difference in comparison of our performance with that of our competitors. That's what we mean. When these differences are significant, method of closing the gaps and raising performance can be considered. Like for instance now, our company cannot cover the increasing demands of the customers in the competitive market where we are operating. And we discover that among our competitors, we have some that they have more customers than us, but yet their product did not suffer artificial scarcity in the market. They are not losing their customers to us. So they are able to meet the teeming increase in demands of the customers and even surpass it. So what can we do? That informs us that we have to improve our production efficiency, staff development, and invest in newly technologically driving machines that can increase the capacity of the product in terms of what we are producing every seconds, every minute. That thing happens to promasidol sometimes when they are experiencing deficiency in product supply. I have some of my students and friends that work there. So they have to invest heavily in some machines that will increase their output in every seconds, every minute. So they are able to close that gap. So benchmarking helps us in identifying our areas of deficiency, and it even help in strategic positioning analysis. How can we still remain market challenger, number 2 position? How can we improve this? What can we do to ensure that we don't drop or slip in this position? So what are the things that we can do to give our brand equity, value, recognition, and enhances? So those are the things that we do anytime we are talking of benchmarking. So what are the various methods of benchmarking? What are the various methods of benchmarking? As we can see, we have one that we call internal benchmarking. Internal benchmarking. Under the internal benchmarking, the company is not comparing their performance with that of the competitors now. No, it's just an internal analysis of our areas of relative strength, weaknesses, and performance. So in the internal benchmarking, what the company does is that an entity, an organization, might compare the performance of one unit within the organization with the best performing unit. So instances occur whereby we have 4-5 branches or units within the organization. So under the internal benchmarking, so what the company now do is that the company will ensure that they compare the performance of, for instance, the sales unit with that of the distribution unit. We compare the performance of the expediting unit with that of the order placing unit. So internally, this one will be able to know the deficiency in some of our units. It will help us to know the deficiency in the output level of our staff. And anytime we do internal benchmarking, one of the major benefits is that it will help us in the areas of knowledge gap, so that the company can proactively and swiftly put in place a strategic measure to correct all these anomalies. So apart from the internal benchmarking, we have the operational benchmarking. In the operational benchmarking, an entity might compare the performance of a particular operation with the performance of a similar operation in a different business entity or industry. So that means in operational benchmarking, it is not limited to comparing your performance with other competitors in the same industry. You can benchmark using another industry. So let's assume that we are in the food and beverages industry now, and we invested in technology and innovation. So we can compare another company that invested in that same technological innovation in other industry, maybe in the banking industry or in the construction industry or hospitality industry. So the essence of that is for us to know how they are going about it, whether they are achieving landmark results than what our company is achieving, so that I can even be able to learn from them. But anytime we are doing operational benchmarking, to achieve results, this must be done. Operational benchmarking requires arrangements with another business entity, because we cannot just intrude into the mode of operation. And there's no way we can get first-hand information that will aid our benchmarking than making official and formal arrangements with the company, so that we can be able to know their mode of operations and how they achieve operational efficiency. So whatever information that we derive there, we have to implement it in our own company too, so that we can be able to have superior operational efficiency. And those areas where we have high operational efficiency, we have to ensure that we improve on them. Those that need to be sustained, we have to sustain that operational efficiency, so to achieve further competitiveness and enhance performance. The third one is competitive benchmarking. In a competitive benchmarking, an entity might compare its own performance and its own products with those of its most successful competitors. So it's just like we have Lavac Cement now, comparing Dangote Cement products in terms of the product quality, in terms of the product sales, in terms of the brand equity, in terms of the product market share and profitability. That is what we call competitive benchmarking. A lot of companies do this in that industry that I mentioned. And at the point when Dangote is diversifying into this industry, cement industry, nobody gives it to him that he can succeed. But he invested a lot of money in research, invested a lot of money in the research and development. They come out with a cement that dry faster. That cement dry faster. And that is the selling point in the industry. And they are coming as a new entrant. So the implication of that is that all the construction companies, bricklayers and what have you, they now shifted their purchase decision in favor of Dangote Cement. And that won't give them leverage during the dry rainy season. The more the cement dry faster, they can buy the product and quickly do whatever they want to do before every rain started. At the same time, we have customers benchmarking. In the customers benchmarking, you can see this is a different type of benchmarking. Why? Because the benchmarking is a specification of what customers expect. We have to benchmark. What are the needs of the customers? What are the expectations of the customers? How can these expectations be met? So what are those things that can cause customers dissonance experience? The satisfaction that we have to avoid. In the customers benchmarking, you can recall that our first lecture on the strategic financial SFM model. We mentioned CSF and KPI. What are those things that are critical to the success of our company? CSF, critical success factor. And what are the key performance indicators that we can use as measure the expectation of these customers? So all this has to be done. So an entity compare its performance against what its customers expect from their product, from their service delivery. Because what the customers are paying for is a value in our products, is the expected value in the service that we want to deliver. And when these expectations are not met, the customers will experience dissatisfaction or regret of their purchase decision, and they will not come back to us again. So to retain existing customers, to win more customers, to gain customers referral and confidence, we have to ensure it's met through production of quality products and effective service delivery. So bá mi wo ó ṣèkì, ó kàn ń ṣèkì ni. Ṣé mi sẹ́mọ̀sì náà ti dé ni? Ó dà ọ̀sán àdúrà gbà ọ́. Fílẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. Àṣì bátìrì yẹn ò save. Torí ẹ̀mí palẹ̀kùn yẹn dé. Ọkùn kọ̀ sún àtẹ̀dẹ̀. Bátìrì yẹn ò save. Mo dẹ̀ rò pé Bólú máa sùn lánàá ni mo fi ní kí n yọ bátìrì yẹn kù. First class àtẹ̀dẹ̀ ni. Ká ní mo ti mọ̀ pé bátìrì yẹn ò ṣáàjì tán ni. Màá kó ti a dúró fún 2 hours kí n tó sùn. Hello? Hello?
Yeah, we are with you, sir.
Okay, so some of the methods that we can use in competitors benchmarking are this. I spell out this because there is no way you can go to your competitors and understudy them. The only criteria that we can use to study competitors when we are doing benchmarking are this. One, the published financial statements of competitors should be studied. So this should be analyzed to assess the financial performance of the competitors. So their financial statement that is published, that is required by law and shareholders, particularly during their AGM, we can study it to look at their financial strengths. So this one gives us an idea how we can go about our own management of our business too. Two, we can do what we call segment analysis, because the segment analysis will show the performance of businesses and geographical segments. It might be regional segments. It can be in terms of product segments too. So when we do segment analysis, we will know the relative performance of the company, where we have edge over them, and some areas where they have edge over us. Even in this geographical segment now, we can discover that Southwest, we have advantage over them. Southeast, South North, they have advantage over us. Why? So what can we do to close this gap? That's exactly what we are saying. Another thing that we can do is in the areas of annual sales analysis. So we look at the annual sales analysis. So the growth in annual sales analysis. So we have to look at it. Our ROI, return on investment, return on capital employed, based on the financial analysis of the company, we have to look at it. So above all, where there are significant differences in performance, the possible reason for these differences should be considered. Yes, we must inquire, why do we have these differences? Large gap in performance. So how can we close this gap? So this one will create a drive for us to improve on our internal efficiency, investment in staff development, so that we can be able to meet up with some of our leading competitors. So like I told you, you can see here that information about competitors during benchmarking can be gathered by talking to customers and potential customers who have had dealings with the competitors. You can even meet some of their dealers to ask them some tactical questions and information about the company. So we proceed by looking at VCA, value chain analysis. The value chain analysis is an internal assessment of the competitive advantage and performance of the company. So what do we call value chain analysis? So value relates to the benefit that the customers obtain from a product or services. So value is provided by the attribute of the product or services. So let's proceed further. Customers are willing to pay money to obtain goods or services because of the benefits they receive or expect. So what do we call value chain analysis? Value chain analysis means using the company internal operating system to produce products or services that will create value to customers. For those customers that have been patronizing us, they already have a perceived value about our products. The operationalization of the internal operating system and improvement on it will give us opportunity to increase the perceived value about our product and service delivery. Because what the customers are paying for is the utility and value in our product and service delivery. And customers are willing to pay more. They are willing to pay a premium price, provided the company can increase the value and product quality. So under the value chain analysis, achieving competitive advantage is a lacuna tax. It's a lacuna tax. It's a very great tax that most companies up to tomorrow are finding it difficult to achieve. Those that achieve it is fluctuating. So to provide that stable value chain, the company must ensure, according to Michael Porter, he said value chain can be created if the company can adopt these two strategies. Porter suggested that to create value, a firm can pursue a cost leadership strategy and two, differentiation strategy. So these two strategy is effective if a company can use it, and it will give you what we call opportunity to create a long-lasting value chain and gain competitive advantage. What does the scholar mean by a cost leadership strategy? A cost leadership strategy occurs when a company invests heavily in technology, innovation, and now use their dynamic capability, competency and core competency to produce a product that will be sold at a lower cost. So any company that is able to achieve this strategic intent, producing a quality product that is valuable and you sell it at a lower cost, such company is using what we call cost leadership strategy, because the company is competing offensively by using cost at its price as a strategy. So under cost leadership strategy, we aim at reducing our total operational costs so that we can be able to sell at the lower cost in the market. So at the long run, we earn more profitability and our customers' patronage will increase. Secondly, the scholar advocates that differentiation strategy can be used by producing innovative, unique, and differentiated products. That by the time we produce a differentiated product in the competitive market and customers truly perceive it as differentiated, the customers will buy at a higher price. And this one will give us opportunity to position our brand favorably in the competitive market and make huge profitability on capital invested. So having looked at that, we should know that under the value chain activities can be divided into two main types. We have primary value chain activities and we have this supportive, that is the secondary value chain activities. So there are two main types of value chain analysis. We have the primary value chain and we have the secondary value chain. So let's take the first one, the primary value chain. So the primary value chain activities comprises of 5 main activities. These activities are directed into the production and selling of the products in order to create value. So in our primary value chain activities, we must ensure optimum production efficiency. I repeat that. In our primary value chain activities, we must ensure optimum production efficiency that covers physical creation of the product, 6, the distribution that we call transfer to the buyer, as well as after sales assistance. There should be provision of after sales services like warranty, installation, and many more. So these are some of the values that the customers are expecting. Above all, there are 5 primary activities that are involved in the primary value chain. There are 5 activities. Those 5 activities are: 1, inbound logistic. 2, operations is number 2. 3, outbound logistic. 4, marketing and sales. And the last one is services. So let's quickly look at them one by one. The first one that we call inbound logistic. So the inbound logistic require intensive and integrative activities that is shared towards the purchase of inputs such as raw materials, component materials, semi-manufactured materials, finished goods, MRO items, that is maintenance, repair, and operating items. They are part of the inbound logistic. So the inbound logistic too, you can see in purple pen there, the activities in inbound is associated with receiving of goods. So receiving of goods from our suppliers, vendors, is part of our inbound logistic. Storing of materials is part of inbound logistic because we must have inventory of materials, particularly for those companies that are into manufacturing of products. Because without you having storage of material to cater for future material needs, there's tendency that the company will run out of stock. And that one will create negative adverse effects like loss of customers, temporary stoppage in production, payment of idle time. So that's the reason why we have to make storage of material to create inventory. At the same time, we have to ensure the disseminating input to the product. We have to ensure the disseminating input means that the transformation of some of these raw materials that we have in stock into finished goods, we have to process them. So the inbound logistic require greater tax, and it equally cover material handling activities, warehousing, inventory control, depending on the stock control that the company is using. Maybe fixed order stock control, periodic review stock control, or program stock control. Inventory control is very key in inbound logistics. The second one is operations. So what we mean by operation is that operation means the conversion of the inputs into desired products, meaning that the conversions of the raw materials that we have purchased or acquired through the inbound logistic into finished good. That's what we call operation. And at times, depending on the nature of the product that we are producing, our operations can require machining, it can require packaging, it can require assembling, equipment maintenance, testing, printing, and facility operation. It depends. Like for instance now, in the food and beverages industry, let's assume that under our number one, inbound logistic, we procure grains. All these grains that we procure now, to be specific, maize. In number two, our operation, our expected value chain activities should be that we want to transform these grains into probably production of custard, turning that maize into custard, turning it into starch, turning that maize into something like a popcorn. So that is what we call operation. It requires integration of the operational activities in order to transform our raw materials into finished goods that we are going to sell to the end users. So the third activities under the inbound logistic is what we call outbound logistic. Outbound logistic. So the outbound logistic stated that after the final product is finished, that means we have produced the final product, it still needs to find its way to the customers. That means production has not finished until when the finished product gets to the end users that we call the customers. So the activities that are associated with outbound logistics are collection of materials, storing of materials, physical distribution of materials, including expediting follow-up of materials, because expediting is very essential under the outbound logistic. Anytime we order for materials, we don't fold our arms and assume that all is well, that materials will be delivered at the expected delivery date. No, there can be some logistic problem from the suppliers, and that's the reason why we have to do expediting or progressing to ensure that we send some of our staff to go and do field expediting for them to be able to know the level of work in progress and to ensure that the materials we order for are delivered at the right time to the right place. It's part of the outbound logistic. So while another activities under the outbound logistic cover the marketing and sales of the product, because without these two activities, there is no way we can recover our cost of investment. So we have to ensure that under our marketing, are we using marketing intermediaries like wholesalers or the retailers? Are we using direct selling? Are we recruiting salesmen? This salesman that is recruited, the sales territory they are going to operate, is there any need for training of this sales personnel in order to increase their ability to sell, handle customers' complaint, and many more? So under the marketing and sales activities, are there needs for promotion to enhance the sale of our products? So these are some of the activities that we have under the marketing and sales. So if all these things are done, then we can be able to sell our products. We can be able to make our product available at the right time to the right place so that customers will have value for the money they are paying. Services. Under the services is part of the primary activities, and the services activities there varies. It can come in form of the maintenance, repair, and servicing of the company's products. It can come in form of selling intangible services like insurance products, medical products, tourism products. So the services can be in form of outsourcing certain functions to be performed by a third party to our company. For instance, we outsource the training and manpower developmental program to a company like Pricewaterhouse, FITC, to come and train our staff. It's part of services too. Because services are intangible, for us to create value to customers, that services must be well tailored for us to be able to convince that customers. And that our services too, we must render it at a premium price. These are some of the secrets that will make your service delivery to have value. So in our services too, it can come in form of vendor services. Our company now, we need the services of the dispatch rider. Whatever it is, we must ensure that in the supply chain, value is created. Well, it is that value that the customers are paying for. And if these expectations are not met, we hurt their feelings, confidence, and this will affect the patronage of our products. So let's look at the secondary value chain that we call the support activities. The secondary value chain comprises of activities like procurement. Procurement is the same thing as purchasing, and it is the same thing as buying. So, and what we call procurement require the purchase of specific materials, component materials. It can be capital materials, it can be durable or non-durable materials. At times, the materials some companies are procuring might be semi-manufactured materials. Semi-manufactured materials are materials that can be subjected to reprocessing, something like flour. So it might be operating items. So anytime we are procuring materials, we have to ensure that we don't compromise quality, because it is that quality that the customers are after. So in our procurement, we must buy the right quality of material at right quantity from the right source at the right price, and that product must be delivered at the right time. That is the only time we are saying that we have achieved procurement. So procurement require the purchase of inputs such as raw materials, supplies and consumable items of high value. Please, under procurement, quality is the watchword. You must not compromise quality, because anytime there is disparity in the quality of the product that we produce and sell to customers, it affects the value we render. And this one might lead to loss of customers. From one customer that we lost, we can lose as many as 5,000, 10,000 customers because they will make negative word of mouth about our products. So apart from procurement, we have technological development. Companies must ensure that to create value, they must invest in technology. To create value, we must invest in innovation. To create value, you must develop innovative driving products, differentiated products. To create value, we must ensure that there is huge investment on research and development, including our staff capacity development, so that our efficiency level can be increased. We can be able to produce qualitative products of high value that will create customer satisfaction. That is what the technology development is talking about. So human resources, under the human resources management, we are being advised here that part of the responsibility of the human resources department involve recruiting, and not just recruiting. We must recruit the right quantity and quality of staff that have the expected skills, experience, maturity, because we need job maturity. Those staff that can be able to abide and uphold the company culture, philosophy, share our vision and mission statements. At the same time, we can hire and fire. While we are hiring the required quality and quantity of staff, any staff that is find wanting, lazy staff, those staff that they behave unethical, those staff that their productivity and output level continue to decrease, we can relieve them of their job. The human resources require training, periodic training of staff, retraining of staff, and manpower developmental program, including compensation. Because without adequate compensation and reward system, some of our employees we have perceived low organizational trust, and this one can lead to high staff turnover. We begin to lose our staff that we have trained over years to another competitors. That's the reason why staff motivation, staff reward, staff compensation is very essential. And this one is an unseen supervision because you made the staff to give in their best. They'll be more committed. The fourth one under the secondary value chain is farm infrastructure. The farm infrastructure consists of a number of activities, including the general management, planning, finance, accounting, legal, government affairs, and quality management. So by the time the time farm infrastructure means that there should be total support in the management of both human and material resources of the company. So this support is needed at every stages of the value chain creation. So what you can see in our farm infrastructure is require further spending on basic infrastructural equipment that the company needs to offer best services and value to customers. We must not relent. We must be inquisitive and be discerning enough to observe what other competitors are doing and to put in place innovative infrastructure that will continue to give us a landmark advantage over our competitors and create favorable satisfaction to our customers. So when you look at the diagram below give us a summary of the primary value chain activities that comprises of the inbound logistics underneath, operations, marketing and sales, services. While the secondary value chain, represented by support activities, comprises of the procurement, technological development, human resources management, and firm infrastructure. So with that, we are done with VCA, that we call value chain analysis. So second to the last is strategic direction. The strategic direction was developed by Igor Ansov, and it is popularly called Ansov Growth Matrix. You see, what we mean by this strategic direction is that the contribution of this scholar to strategic management is that the man give alternative growth strategy that, if adopted by companies, can give you opportunity to achieve success, opportunity to stabilize no matter the degree of competition in the market, opportunity to overcome competitive threats. Have what we have going concern. It will give you opportunity to achieve your predetermined objectives and goals. So Ansoff call it internal development strategy. So let's look at this topic. So we have it that growing a business is the process of improving some measures of a company's success. A business can grow in terms of employees, customers base. Those are the things we can use to grow. Look at that. A business can grow. A business can grow in terms of employees when our staff strength is increasing. It's an indication of growth of an organization. When our customer base, the number of customers that we have is increasing, it shows that our company is healthy. We are growing. So business can grow in terms of international coverage when we move to international trade, either through exporting or importing, or what we call entry ports. So business can grow in terms of profits. But above all, growth is most often determined in terms of revenue. But we need this one for further expansions too, and to meet shareholders' expectations. So the scholar is saying that there are different types of growth that companies can use, and the alternative growth strategy provided. Let's look at it together. Igor Ansov identified 4 strategies for growth and summarized them in the so-called Ansov matrix growth strategy. The Ansov matrix growth strategy, alternatively, it is also called product market expansion grid, or some we call it 2x2 growth matrix. So in exam condition, please, when ICAN says that please discuss comprehensively on the product market grid, once you see product market grid, there is no other scholar, I don't know of tomorrow or later in the evening or afternoon, that have discussed on product market grid growth matrix than Igor Ansov. So they can use this word, discuss on the product market grid, or this word can be used, discuss comprehensively on the Ansov growth matrix, or using 2x2 growth matrix of Ansov, expatiate. You will know that they are specific about this particular topic. So according to Igor Ansov, the internal growth matrix are divided into 4, as depicted in the diagram that you are seeing. We have market penetration strategy, that is one strategy. We have market development strategy, that is the second strategy. We have product development strategy, that is the third strategy. And we have diversification strategy. So the diversification strategy make it to be the fourth strategy. So I repeat that again. In a product market growth strategy, popularly called ANSOF growth strategy, there are four strategies that company can use for internal development, survival, and sustainability. Those strategies are: one, market penetration strategy; two, market development strategy; three, product development strategy; four, diversification strategy. And the scholar used two criteria in the diagram that you can see. We have market at the horizontal axis. So at the vertical axis, we have products. So let's now look at this strategy one by one to know their meaning and application. The first one is what we call market penetration. You can see I put it in front so that you not make any mistake. Market penetration occur when companies take their existing products into existing market. That is market penetration. Let that one key, please. I repeat again here. Market penetration is about selling more of the company's existing products to existing markets. So anytime we are talking about market penetration, it implies that the company is selling their existing product. They are not producing a new product now. Is that their existing brand that has been known, that they have been selling before? We are selling our existing product to existing customers in a market that we have known. So, of what significance is market penetration? Market penetration is needed so that we can be able to increase our sales and returns. Because we cannot just focus on one market. We have to expand our sales territory. So, to penetrate and grow the customer base in the existing market, a company can penetrate a market by what? By cutting prices. And it is not at all time we cut our price to penetrate. Rather, we just use affordable pricing, that is penetration pricing, moderate pricing, after we might have carried out our market research to know the price at which other competitors are selling. Another strategy that we can use to penetrate a market, taking our existing product to an existing market, is to improve on our distribution efficiency. This distribution efficiency will make our product to be available in all destinations where our existing and potential customers reside. So another method we can use to penetrate is to invest more in marketing and promotion of our products. So in the second paragraph, we have it that a market penetration strategy is more difficult to implement when the market has reached maturity. Can you see? This one gives us more information and more orientation and knowledge about the product life cycle that we just discussed about. That as maturity stage, it's always difficult for you to penetrate a market because that market is saturated with many competitors and products. Let's look at that again. A market penetration strategy is more difficult to implement when the market has reached maturity or is growing slowly. When the sales and the growth of the market is slow, that market becomes highly unattractive because it shows that competing products are many and it will be difficult for us to establish our brand. So therefore, market penetration calls for aggressive marketing.
Sir,
I'm
good
with you.
morning, sir. I've been
Good
raising
morning.
my hand.
Okay, sorry. I don't notice that you are raising your hand. You can ask your question, please.
This part that they said market penetration strategy is more difficult to implement when the market has reached maturity. So then my question is, does
Okay.
market reach maturity? I thought it was product that is supposed to reach maturity based on the product life cycle.
Yes, you are right. That's a fantastic observation and question. So what we mean by maturity here is that you should know that when the product reach maturity means that when the market become saturated. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
That is the answer. So at
Thank you.
maturity stage, the market becomes saturated because there are more competing products and companies in the market. But when it comes to the decline stage, the market becomes oversaturated. Hope it is clear now.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. You are welcome. So let's proceed. We said market penetration call for aggressive marketing. And what are the strategies that we can put in place to penetrate a market and make our product and brand to be successful? The strategies are these. One, persuade existing customers to use more of our product or services. We persuade them to continue to patronize us. If the product is a consumable product, we can persuade them to buy more quantity. So that one will increase their total sales demand. We equally persuade them to make referral about our products because this referral work faster. Word of mouth communication about our products. And that's the reason why our products should be valuable and meet customers' expectation. Because if our product is not valuable, the customers will not make any referral for us. So some customers might buy the products depending on the nature of the products without using them. We can persuade individuals who have not bought the product in the past to start buying and using the products. Look at that statement. Who have not bought the product in the past. That means we persuade potential customers, prospective customers that have not purchased our products before to buy. Look at number 3. Interesting. And that's the reason why Porter says that competitors, Porter says that our competitors are poisonous to our business. Because this point number 3 says that persuade individuals to switch from buying the product of competitors. We are now begging a potential customers now that have underwrite insurance policy with maybe mutual trust to leave that and come to our own Nikon insurance, or a customer that is loyal and prefer the purchase of Milo to stop buying Milo to come and buy our own product, which is Bonfita, all because we want to increase our market share and win them as a new customers. But you have to be mindful here. It must be done in a very professional way. Persuading individuals to switch from buying the product of competitors. This can be done through advertisements. And in that our advert, we have to lay emphasis on our product attributes. That will convince the customers. If we are doing face-to-face sales canvassing, we can do that by telling the customers about our product features, product benefits, what the customers deserve to gain, without condemning our competitors' products or services. That is unethical. We must not demarket our competitors' products, all because we want to make customers. In fact, some customers hate it. It discourages them from patronizing you. We need to be professional in doing this. Number 2 strategy is product development. Product product development. Under the product development, what do we call product development? It means that we develop a new product, but that our new product that we develop, we sell it in existing market. It's in front of it. Product development occur when company develop a new product and sell it in existing market. You must not miss this interpretation, please. So product development, I re-emphasize, is about developing and selling new products to existing markets. Anytime we develop a new product, no matter how innovative, unique, and standardized the product, even if it's a differentiated product, our first target is existing customers that have been buying from us. And that's the reason why the scholar says that the development of a new product should be tailored towards selling to existing customers in the market. So our new product that we are now developing, it might be addition of new quality to the product. It might be radically new product. It might be changing in packaging that the customers perceive as a new product. Or it might even be that we launch a new product entirely, or we diversify conglomerately or concentrically. So anytime we develop a new product, we have to ensure that those new products is tailored towards existing customers and markets. Because that is where the product can quickly gain brand recognition, knowing fully that we have other brands that we have been selling in the market. He said this strategy is an effective strategy that gives us opportunity to gain internal development and competitive advantage. So the scholar now justify that there are several reasons for choosing product development strategy. Some of the reasons are these. One, the business entity might have a strong brand name for its product that it can extend the goodwill of the brand name to the new product. A good example that you should have is this. We have
Hello,
Guinness.
sir.
Hello.
Please, can you explain this conglomerate and centric?
We are going to explain it. Let's go proceed further. Very soon I will explain it. Maybe in the next 2 minutes or three. Is that taken, ma? So let's go back. The man says that there are several reasons for choosing this strategy of product development. He said one, the business entity might have a strong brand name for its products, and as a result, it can extend the goodwill of the brand name to new products. So, and I said a good example that should come to our mind here is Guinness. Guinness is a strong brand name that has been existing for decades, several years. And they extended this brand name, goodwill, to produce what? Guinness Malt. And that product is quickly accepted in the market. So this is what we call product line extension or umbrella brand strategy. We develop a new product based on an established brand name. USC is using it and many other companies too. So another thing that can make us to embark on product development is this. The entity must react to new technological developments, advancement in technology now that is revolutionizing business activities across the globe. We don't have to wait for our competitors. We must have edge. When there is new technological breakthrough, innovation, we quickly invest in that too. This advancement in technology will encourage us to produce a new product. So another thing that can encourage new product development is this. When the market has growth potential, that when you produce a new product in the market, automatically you know that you are going to recover all your cost of investment, win more customers, retain existing one, gain competitive advantage. So then it will encourage us. Another thing can encourage new product development is customers' needs might be changing, dynamism in customers' demand, changes in customers' taste. And for those customers that we call them variety-seeking customers, they get bored when they are buying one particular product at all time. So these categories of customers, they want to try something new. So these categories of customers, they want emotional satisfaction. So in so doing, if our company did not have varieties, we lose such customers to company that produce varieties of products. And that's the reason why the product development require development of new products, variety or product line extensions. The third strategy by Egon Ansel is market development strategy. And what do we call market development strategy? Market development strategy occur when we sell our existing product in new markets. This is the first time we are mentioning new markets now. So market development is about selling more of the company's existing products to new markets. So I go further that this strategy is about reaching new customer segments, or expanding internationally by targeting new geographical areas. What is the meaning of this? The meaning is this: under market development, the company take their existing products to new geographical markets. We take our product to markets where the product is unknown, the brand is unknown. So anytime we are talking about market development, we don't have to concentrate or become a local champion. So our product, there is nothing wrong in taking our product that is locally produced here in Nigeria to export it to Asia, to Europe, to West African countries, even within our geographical domain in Lagos. A product that is well known in Idumota, we can take it to Ikeja, we can take it to Port Harcourt, we can take it to Ogbomoso, we can take it to Ijebu-Ode. That product can be taken to Onitsha, we can take it to Alaba market. So the more brand exposure we give the product, the more customers we win, the more sales we realize, and the more return on capital employed we gain. And this one will even help us to meet the shareholders' expectations. And that is the only way through which our products can gain a prolonged life cycle without declining. So market development means extending the geographical market coverage of our products, selling more of the product by taking that product to new market segments, new sales territory. So we can see under the market development, there are two ways of pursuing this strategy. One, the entity can start to sell its products in new geographical markets, be it regional, national, or international. Two, the entity can try to attract customers in the new market segment. So we are doing this one, developing more markets, because day in, day out, new competitors are coming to the market. New products are being introduced. And because of this, that is why we are doing market development, due to hyper competition. Hyper competition occur when the degree of competition in the market is high and all the existing competitors are highly aggressive to maintain their market share, brand relevance, maintain their customers, and competitiveness. So once we have hyper competition, what we have to do is to extend our market. Don't over concentrate on one particular market or two particular markets. Or we are okay since we cover south. What of south east, southwest, south north? Is your product or brand know there? Give your product more brand exposure to increase sales. So the last strategy under Egon Ansel is diversification strategy, meaning the development of new products that we sell in new markets. That is diversification strategy. Developing a new product, that new product now, we now sell it in the new market. So diversification strategy is about entering new markets with new products that are either related or completely unrelated to the company existing offering. A valuable point is emphasized that there. Let's say that again. Diversification strategy is about entering new markets with new products that are either related or completely unrelated to a company existing offering. That means anytime we diversify our investment, company can diversify into related or unrelated diversification. Okay, let's proceed. Diversification in turn can be classified into three types. Majorly, you will see two types. Even your syllabus emphasize limit to two types. So, what are the types of the diversification that we are talking about? One, concentric or horizontal diversification. The very reason why I said in the next 2 minutes we are going to discuss on diversification. We have concentric. Concentric diversification is also called horizontal diversification, or popularly called related diversification. Why do we call it a related or concentric diversification? It is called related or concentric diversification because it is about entering. That entry means diversifying. It is about entering a new market with a new product that is somewhat related to the company existing product offering. So that means in concentric diversification, that is also called related or horizontal diversification. Company diversify by producing a product that is related to some of their existing product or service delivery. So a good example of this one has been given here. For instance, now, the example that we live with around us, we have Dangote flour diversifying into production of noodles. Production of noodles is a concentric diversification because it is related. Already they produce flour, and byproduct of flour is noodles. Where, for instance, WAEC diversify into book publishing. Already they conduct exams, and the book publishing business is related to their business. So look at this example that we have here as an example of diversification. An airline company might acquire international chain of hotels. It is related. It will even create more values because most of the customers that want to fly their airline can lodge into their hotel. So diversification into related means the company diversify into line of business that is close to what they have been doing before. And the advantages of the concentric related diversification is that it is less risky. That is one advantage of concentric diversification. It is less risky. Apart from being less risky, it should give the company opportunity to gain economic of scope. I hope you have got that down. It gives the company opportunity to gain economic of scope. By that economic of scope means that we can use one machine to produce two products since they are related. A good example, it takes 7 years for them to respond and produce a competing product. That is Aquafina water to challenge Eva water in the industry. Now that they have done that, what 7-Up did, some call it product extension, some call it diversification. Let's see it as diversification to explain economic of scope. The same machine they are using to fill 7-Up, Pepsi, what's it called? The likes of Mirinda and others can be used to fill this water. The same machine they are using to cork all their PET bottles can be used to cork their table water. They have gained economic of scope using one machine to produce two products. So in concentric related diversification, it is less risky, we gain economic of scope, and it gives us opportunity to use part of our existing production facilities and manpower. Those are some of the advantages. In conglomerate diversification, company diversify into unrelated line of business. Unrelated line of business. That is what we call conglomerate diversification. And this one is highly risky because we are diversifying into a new business terrain that we don't have idea about. It's consumed huge amount of investment, and it's for those companies that have high risk potential, risk appetite. They have carried out their research and they want to take the risks that so far the business is profitable, we are going to take the risks. So conglomerate diversification is called unrelated diversification that occur when companies diversify or produce a product that is quite different from all their existing products or brands. Not to waste time here, a good example of conglomerate diversification is Dangote diversifying into refinery business. It is conglomerate diversification. The same WAEC that we cited under related diversification, that WAEC diversify into book publishing. Under conglomerate, WAEC diversify into hotel business. It's not related to what they are doing. Is that understood? Okay. So what are the benefits of diversification generally? Okay, before the benefits of diversification, I mentioned that diversification can be classified into three. The third one that we have is hybrid diversification. Hybrid diversification. In hybrid diversification, it occurs when the company diversify into both conglomerates and concentric diversification. Any company that diversify into both related and unrelated, we call them hybrid firm. We have many examples, like Dangote Group, we have USC Group. USC diversify into so many unrelated lines. That's what we call hybrid diversification. So quickly, what are the benefits of diversification? So diversification helps to reduce business risks. So rather than concentrating on one particular product or line of business that is full of uncertainties, the more we have 2, 3 products, either related or unrelated, we are reducing our business risks because we diversify our portfolio of investment. 2, diversification will save costs and generate synergy. So the cost is that machine that we use. We use one machine to cork table water, one machine to cork all our soft drink PET bottles, one machine to produce the label for table water, produce label for what's it called? Our PET bottles. The same machine we use it to label and print our label for what are this product that 7-Up bottling company diversify into. Be Too Sure. Be Too Sure hand sanitizer, Be Too Sure disinfectant, Be Too Sure soap, bar soap. So we are saving costs. Rather than buying 2, 3 different machines, one machine can do that for us. So it promotes economic of scope by using one equipment to produce 2 products. And diversification too give you opportunity to penetrate a market that is either saturated or difficult to penetrate. So once you diversify, you can be able to enter the market. And it gives us commanding competitive advantage. So lastly, I can say we should know the meaning of gap analysis. What is the meaning of gap analysis? So gap analysis is like benchmarking. Gap analysis is like benchmarking. So gap analysis means comparing our stated objective. Gap analysis means comparing our gap analysis means the comparison of the set objective of the company, our standard set objective. Gap analysis means comparing our standard set objective with actual performance. Is that understood? Look at this place. It's a technique that might be used in strategic planning. And a gap is the difference between the position a business entity wants to be at the end of the planning period in order to meet the overall objective and what? The position the entity is likely to be if it does not have any new strategy or change in strategy. Let me simplify it. The meaning of gap analysis is that it is the difference between the set target or standard objective of the company with the actual performance. Like for instance now, the set target of the company is that at the end of this production year, maybe December 22, 2025, the company projected to make $50 million as profit after tax. That is our target. So at the end of the production year, the company realized $35 million profit after tax. There's still a wide gap of $15 million that is missing. We are unable to meet our target. What are the factors that are attributed to this lack of ability to meet our target? So what can we do to prevent the future reoccurrence of this kind of crisis? So the company will now be distressing the likely factors that are attributed to inability to meet up with their target. It can be due to the competition activities. It can be due to the ravaging insecurity in the country. It can be due to inflation. It can be due to a reduction of the customers' demand and patronage for the products. It can be due to the uncertainty and dynamics in the business environment. Many factors can prevent us from achieving our strategic intent or set targets. So the reason for the gap analysis now is that since we have known that we are too far from our target or set objectives, we put in place a strategic measure to prevent the reoccurrence of this result going forward. And that is what we use gap analysis for. It will aid strategic planning. Because anytime we are setting objective, we are forecasting. And there is tendency that this forecast can be met, this forecast might not be met. So even if we meet our gaps, our standard, or we surpass the expectations, our targets, what are the factors that are attributed to this? How can we sustain and maintain this so that it will be a sustainable performance and results? So gap analysis, we use this to compare between standard set objective and the actual performance of the company in order to be able to know the gray areas and providing a solution. So lastly, we need withdrawal strategy. The withdrawal strategy we have mentioned is more than 3 or 4 times in the course of our lectures today. And the withdrawal strategy is what I call divestment strategy. It's an exit strategy. As the name suggests, a withdrawal strategy is a strategy for withdrawing from a product market area. This might be appropriate, for example, when the entity can no longer compete effectively. When we can no longer compete, we have seen a lot of companies, about 2, 3, 4, 6 months that leave Nigeria. They can no longer compete effectively and not limited to competition action. It's because there is no enabling environment to nurture their business. Epileptic power supply, insecurity, unfavorable government policy, multiple taxations can be there. So their market share profitability is eroding and there is increasing operational costs every day. So they have to leave. So the withdrawal strategy can equally be used when the entity wishes to use its limited fund and resources in a different product market area. Some company might leave construction company and diversify into food and beverages industry. So withdrawal strategy is a deliberate strategy that we use when our product is not performing, when our product is at the decline stage. You can even see the BCG matrix that we did. When our product become a dog product, from question mark product, it declined further to dog product. When the product is generating declining and negative returns for the company, then we can withdraw the product from circulation gradually. And at times, withdrawal strategy can be used to reduce the range of unproductive products offered to the market. Unproductive products offered to the market. When the product is not profitable, the brand has lost its appeal, then we can reduce it. You can see the likes of Coca-Cola bottling company. Gone are those days when they are producing soda water, cram soda. What are you seeing it in the market again? It's becoming unproductive. So even in the withdrawal strategy, we call it exit strategy. It can be used to reduce the number of markets or market segments where we are operating. That is what we call downscoping. We can close down outlets, branches that are not profitable, or our expenses is too high that the company cannot cope. We close it down. Any product that is not profitable, we can decide to not to produce them again. So, above all, the following are some of the reasons leading to a withdrawal from a product market area. We have emphasized them. I just give you additional information. One, a decline in the size of the market or market segment, or it can even be a loss of major market to competitors. It can be. Or in the banking industry now, you can see a lot of merger and acquisition. When some companies cannot meet up with the capital requirement base, recapitalization by CBN, they have to merge. Some have to leave the industry. So some companies can use withdrawal strategy due to poor financial results that we have mentioned. So all these strategy, we call them withdrawal strategy or divestment strategy, or we can call the exit strategy or divestment strategy. And if I can use the word divestitor, it's the same thing as withdrawal strategy. Divest means to withdraw, to reduce production, or to quit certain industry. So with this, we have covered our topics for today. We have discussed comprehensively on product life cycle that we call the sequential stages that a new product passes through in a competitive market, starting from the introduction stage, growth stage, maturity, and decline stage. And we have discussed on all the various strategies that we can use. After the product life cycle, we discuss on the value chain analysis, VCA, that require the use of the internal operational activities of the company to create value to the customers or to increase the perceived values of the customers about our company's products. This value chain analysis can be divided into two. We have primary value chain analysis, we have the secondary value chain analysis. In the primary value chain analysis, we have activities like inbound logistic, marketing and servicing. We have outbound logistic and operations. In the secondary value chain analysis, that one requires the investment in technology, innovation, staff development. That is what we call capacity development. procurement is there, and firm infrastructural management. Aside that, we equally discuss in depth on Igor Ansov growth matrix that we call internal development strategy. And I inform you that the Igor Ansov growth strategy is also called 2x2 growth matrix or product market grid matrix. This strategy is suitable for internal development, expansion, and gain of competitive advantage and survival in the market. So your answer matrix is divided into four main types. We have one, market penetration strategy that require a company to take their existing products to existing market in order to increase profits, sales potential, win more customers, and the rest. The second one is product development. We develop a new product and sell it to existing market. While the third one is market development. We develop, we take our existing products to existing market. So the third one is diversification. So diversification means diversifying our investments into either concentric, conglomerate, or hybrid diversification. When we diversify into concentric, that means we diversify into a related line of business that reduce our business risks, cost of investments, give us economic of scope and minimum. But when we diversify into conglomerate diversification, that means we diversify into unrelated line of business. And this one attracts a lot of high risks. You can see what Dangote is facing in the refinery business that he diversify into. There's a lot of crisis. Even in the strategic alliance with the government internally is having a lot of problem. It consumes huge amount of money too and full of uncertainties. And we said in hybrid diversification, this is common among conglomerate organizations, multinational companies that use both concentric and conglomerate diversification. So after that, we mention gap analysis, which means the analysis of the differences between our set target and actual performance or results, taking note of the factors that are attributed to this and put in place the corrective measures to prevent the reoccurrence. So lastly, we discuss on the withdrawal strategy that we also call divestment strategy. It is an exit strategy that we use to withdraw unproductive products or quit from unproductive business. So with this, we have come to the end of our lecture today. So I thank you for your time, commitment. So I wish you undiluted success. Thank you so much. Is there any question, please?
Yes, sir. There's not a question, but just please, maybe you help us drop these notes on the platform.
I can't hear you clearly.
I think it's not actually a question, just a plea that you help us drop the material for today on the platform.
Yes, yes, I will do that. I will do that. Immediately now I will do. Once I leave now, I will drop it.
Thank you, sir.
So I have a question.
Okay, you're welcome.
So I have a question.
I'm with you. You can ask your question, please.
Please, you said that other hybrid is it known as
I can't hear you clearly. Oh. You said the hybrid. What happened to the hybrid diversification?
yes, you talked about hybrid now. Is it the same as vertical? You listed
Ah, since the network, I didn't hear you clearly. Okay, you can try and repeat the question.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, yeah, continue. You said the hybrid. What happened to hybrid diversification?
Like you didn't list hybrid. You listed it as vertical. Now I'm asking
Yes, yes.
vertical.
The reason why I decided not to do that is that because of the limit of the syllabus. The limit of the syllabus will limit us to conglomerate diversification and concentric diversification. So it's an added knowledge. That there are some
Okay.
firms that we call hybrid firms. Do you get it? Even there are some firms that we call born global firms, which I can did not put in your syllabus. Born global firms are many more.
Sir.
Hello,
Thank you.
sir.
You're welcome, man.
Hello.
Hello, I'm with you, man.
Please, sir, I beg the video for this class because I didn't join it earlier. I joined late so that we can listen to it over again, please.
Okay. Okay. I'm able to give a recorded version of this, and I'm going to give you the material for the lecture now in the next 5 minutes or less than that. Okay. I wish you the very best of luck. Enjoy the rest of your day and then lectures. All the best.
Thank you.
So,
You're welcome, man. Bye, man.